Hello. We are looking at the present subjunctive today in stage 36. Okay. Now, we're not learning a new clause. We are working with purpose clauses and result clauses and indirect command and indirect question, all the same uses. You already in this stage have seen a ton of examples of these. Okay. But the issue is that the present subjunctive is so sneaky that you probably didn't even realize it. Okay, so let's take an example from something that we read pretty recently here. So this is the bottom of the kind of the last half of this Marcus Valerius Martialis Pars Prima story. Just this last little bit. Now, even in this last little bit, look at this. And in fact, I'm going to circle or underline two more. Here's Sergat. Here's Retenet. Now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different verbs are in the present subjunctive. Okay. Now, how do I know this? Well, they're in subjunctive clauses. Look at 28 and 29, right? I have been invited here in order to recite, or so that I may recite, or just I've been invited here to recite. You have been invited here to listen. Or down here, he recognizes him, Pontilianus, and he says, I know who you are. So here's an indirect question, right? I know who you are. There's cease, which is a pretty weird form. So we're going to actually kind of ignore that one and we're going to keep going, but we'll come back to cease in a little bit. Here's another one. Hey, you're that Pontilianus guy who always asks me, oot. There's your subjunctive clause again. That I send my works, my little books to you. So we have again an indirect command here. Here I am able to say to you, my Pontilianus, why always I refuse to send my stuff. Okay, but now, my Pontilianus, to you, I can say why I always refuse to send my stuff to you. So there's recusem, right? So there's an indirect question. Here, why do I not send my little books to you, Pontilianus? So that you don't. So here's an example of a negative purpose clause, still a purpose clause, but a negative one, so that you don't send your stuff to me, tuos, mihi. Look over here. Here's a result clause. Pontilianus, however, was so angry or is so angry that he gets up out of his chair and he tries to rush the stage in order to. Now, here's another. See, there's so many. I forgot even to label one, Pulset, to hit Marshall, but his friends, and that is not a subjunctive. Now, the fact that I accidentally underlined the wrong one, I think, is a tribute to the fact that there's no ba here. There's no bo bis bit. There's no is set. There's no really like uniquely identifying ending here. So I wonder if we can figure out what's going on. I mean, here it's an E from recito recitare. Here it's an A, or really an IA. Here is an A, here is an E again, here's an A again, here's an A, here's an E. It's like, how do we come up with a rule? Well, I got a little trick, okay? But let's go to the about the language and let's check this out. Here we go. Here are the forms. Notice between portat and portet, docet, doceat, trahit, trahat, audit, audiat. Okay, so there actually isn't like it's not like we all put ba on the end of the word, right? It's not like we put is set at the end of the word. It's different vowels for different conjugations. Okay, so for the first conjugation, it's an e. For the second, it's ea actually. For the third, it's an a, and for the fourth, it is ia. Let me get the little dot the I there. There we go. So here's how I want us to remember our verbs. We beat all liars. Okay? We beat all liars. Now, some of you know that there is a kind of a hybrid conjugation between the third and fourth. So it's called the third IO conjugation. So for instance, facio is a good example. Facio looks like it's a fourth, right? Because it looks like audio, but then it's facere in the infinitive, so it looks like a third. So it's a third conjugation verb, but there's an I in there sometimes. So we call those third IO. And with facio, for instance, it is also IA. So maybe instead of we beat all liars, maybe when we want to we beat all giant liars, if you want to include that third IO in there as well. So it is a simple concept. The concept basically is that we change the vowel. Okay. The difficulty is in recognizing when there is subjunctive. Okay. I think we can remember we beat all liars, we beat all giant liars. I think that's fine. I think we get the concept. That the issue that we have to practice and get a little comfortable with is just which practicing putting the vowels on the right conjugations, the right vowels on the right conjugations, and just being able to recognize them because, again, there's not like a really distinctive verb ending there. Okay. Now, notice I haven't talked about translation yet, have I? Because we just translate it naturally. Okay. I was invited to recite, you to listen. I know who you are. Um, you asked me to send my stuff to you. Why I always refuse, and so that you don't send your stuff to me. And he rushed the stage to hit Marshall. He was so angry that he gets up out of his chair. He is so angry that he gets up out of his chair. So there's no real big special translation here with the present subjunctive in these clauses. The trick really is these vowels that we have to keep back with. So that's really what I'm going to focus on with us for the rest of this week is just getting used to that, practicing with those vowels. But I think you're going to find that the present subjunctive is a pretty manageable thing. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck.